right.
Takeaway from the offense's performance tonight.
Come to Lambeau Field, find a way to win. Throughout this week, even today, from my loved ones and even Mr. Leary, we always talk before the game, and we're talking about things we talk about. But he talked about how historic the stadium was and the memories that he had coming to watch the championship games here, and just encouraging me to go be myself. And and I think about how historic of a venue it is. Finding a way to win here as a collective group in this environment on Monday Night Football. It's a big time win. That's a big testament to our team. Defense played lights out. Lights out. I mean, won the situational battle. Showed up in the end of the game when we could have avoided putting them in that position. But I feel like when there was a mishap, we had each other's backs, and that's all you can ask for. And so, I'm proud of how we competed. I'm proud of how we weathered through and persevered. I think we showed great resilience throughout this game, and that's a hell of a team we played. It's the best defense we played all year, and with the talent that they have, the ability to rush the passer, who they have in the back end, and a really good group. So, obviously, we'll enjoy this one while we can. Go ahead.
Biggest guy. What makes him so good at contested catches?
I think he's as dynamic as it gets. He showed up and made some big time plays today. And that's what he's been doing all year. And so, definitely don't win this game without him making the plays that he made.
To see Lane Johnson return to the game, what did that do for you and the team?
Well, I know Lane is going to go out there and give it his all, with all his might. And I didn't know exactly what was going on, but to have him on the field is always a boost of confidence.
Obviously, as much as the offense had difficulty tonight, like in 2 plays, you guys went 77 yards, got a touchdown. And what was it like seeing Saquon do that spin move and just the way the offense can strike like that in a matter of 2 plays?
That's a great question. Well, it's not a capability thing. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, it's not a capability thing. It's not a capability thing at all. We're very confident in what we can do. We just got to go out there and play at a high level more consistently. And I think this game was a perfect example of what it could be when we take advantage of our opportunities, and then when we don't control the things that we can, how they can hinder us. And so, talk about the false starts, talking about the things that take no talent, being on the same page, having particulars in what we're doing, and being aligned in when we do it. And then, for me to start the game off and give the ball away after a long drive, that stops the flow of what we're doing. So that was a big mistake in the game that I own. It's a great play by him, punching it out. But those are things that I can control, and I think as a group, we got to control the things that we can control, and that starts with me doing that.
Okay, we kind of talked about this earlier in the week, and you mentioned you wanted to leave here this time with a win, but obviously this was kind of where your career started in some sense. You threw your first touchdown pass. Was there any nostalgia, after this game, maybe during the game at some point, kind of just reflecting? I know you're not huge on reflecting because you're in the process of your career, but if you understand what I'm saying, just kind of, do you have any thoughts?
I did something different that I never really done before, is go out before the game and assess the stadium and get a feel for the environment and the weather a bit. And I felt like that was warranted given where we're playing at. And I say how big of a game it was coming in, and knowing it's off of a bye week, knowing it's against a really good opponent, and knowing we're entering a big stretch. But I'm very fortunate to be where I am. I know I'm not here without the hard work, the patience, and taking advantage of an opportunity, and ultimately the organization giving me an opportunity. And so I definitely say it means something to me to kind of complete the circle of, winning in Lambeau.
What does it
We
take
spoke this
for
week about-
individuals to not get discouraged on offense when the plays aren't coming?
What do you mean?
For individual players, when the offense is sputtering a little bit, to not get discouraged in those moments.
You just got to play the next play and take it a play at a time. It's an offense. It's a unit. It's a team. It flows as one. And so, there are times where things may not go a desired way. Ultimately, it's about how you respond to those things. And when you look at a win like today, that's what it comes down to. So, I want to continue to push forward and collectively, come together and always keep the main thing in the end. But, the bottom line is to go out there and try and find ways to win games. And everybody's role is important. Everybody's role may not be the same, but it's equally important. And so taking pride in that and giving it your best every time you have a chance to.
We heard
In the fourth
Jalen
quarter.
Phillips this week talk about how this was one of the best moments of his life coming to this team. How happy are you for a guy like that coming to this team, same week, the performance he had, and also what does it say about the culture of everybody on this team?
It seemed like he fit right in. So, come on.
In the fourth quarter, there was a 3rd and 12 conversion to Devontae. I think you had 6 third and longs before then, 3 called runs, a scramble, and then 2 passes short of the sticks. What keeps you guys from being more aggressive in those situations? Is it the defense's presentation, the game plan?
It's the approach. It's the approach coming in. Every game is different. So I think from a macro perspective, you can look on the outside in and say, well, why are we not doing this game? Why are we not doing this in that game? Every game is different. And so there is a strategic game plan coming in of saying, maybe we want to approach it this way and maybe we don't want to approach it this way. And I think in hindsight, it was slow early on, kind of finding our footing in the game. And we found it when we needed to, right? I think, some opportunities where I definitely like to have some opportunities back, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down. I know all of us as a unit would like to have some opportunities back, but, when it mattered the most, we showed up and we found ways to make plays and the ball went through the hoop. And so, regardless of whatever's going on, you got to keep shooting. You got to keep going. You got to keep attacking, and you have to trust within the unit that this is what we're going to do and going to have confidence in that. We got Saquon playing fullback on the play. That's something we've never done before. You may say, well, what's going on? It's like, well, you trust it in the heat of the moment, you're going to make it happen. And so, you have to have an aggressive mindset. You have to have an aggressive mindset. That having an aggressive mindset always minimizes mistakes in the end. So if you can control what you can with that, have the right tenacity with that focus, and more times than not, you like to see that you hit them. And so I think how it began and how it ended, Smitty made that big time play on the outcut to the field that extended the drive, and it's a big time moment in the game.
Thanks, John.
Yep.
Yeah.